Hello all. Today we are solving LeetCode problem number 3379 transformed array. So you are given an integer array called nums which is represented as a circular array. So what exactly is a circular array? So circular array is nothing but the end of index which is nothing but n minus 1. If you move right, it will join the zeroth index, and from zeroth index if you move left it will join the n minus 1th index. So in this way this array forms a circular array. So you are asked, your task is to create a new array result of the same size which follow these rules, which is nothing but some three independent actions. So the first one is, if nums of I is greater than 0, you have to start at index I and move nums of I steps right side. And if nums of I is less than 0, you have to start at I and move absolute nums of I steps left in the circular array. So after that, when nums of I is equal to 0, you have to set the result of I is equal to nums of I. So let me run through the example problem and you will understand that soon. So this value, which is nums of I is greater than 0, which satisfies this condition 1. So now you have to start from I, this position, you have to move the value nums of I, which is nothing but 3 steps right. So which is 1, 2 and 3. So now you have to do this condition, which is nothing but nums of I is now it is 0. You have to set the result of I to nums of I, so which is nothing but you will update the value here as nums of I here, which is nothing but 1. So now similarly this is negative 2, which is less than 0. So now you have to follow the same condition, absolute value left side you have to move, so which is nothing but 1. And you, since it is a circular array, you will land here. The value of the nums of I is 1. You will fill the result of I as 1. So now you are at this position. So the value here is 1. So you move this one side right. So the value here is 1. Let me change the color. So you will fill with 1. Now you are at this position last, so which is nothing but you have to move right side by one position, which is nothing but you will land up here, for which the nums of I is 3. So you will add you will update the result of I as 3. So this is how you do the problem. So this is how all about the understanding of the problem. So how do you do this? So there is a simple trick, which is nothing but you have to get the index plus the value. So you sum up the index and value, and that is how you determine the steps, right? So since this is a circular queue, you need to define one more condition as well, which is nothing but you have to mod that with n, because since it is a circular, you have to get the index with which is within 0 to n, right? So in that case you have to mod this with n. So with that you can say 3 mod the n value is 4, which is nothing but you will get 3. So you move that 3 that side, right? So in terms of this index position, which is nothing but 4, which we can say as the position as 3 and the value as 1, which is nothing but 3 plus 1 modulo of 4 is equal to 0. So that is the position where we will be getting the value and we will fill in the result, right? So with all this observation, we will go ahead and code this up. So the time complexity for this problem is just a single iteration, so due to which you will have big O of n, and since you are using additional space for returning the result array, you will use one more linear time space complexity for this. So you have to define n is equal to n of nums followed by you have to define the result empty array. So now you have to for I and val in enumerate nums, right? So now you have to append, so res dot append, where you will get the nums of I plus v, and this will be modulo by n, right? So this should be under a yeah, so now this should be modulo by n, so which is nothing but you will get access to the index and you will append the value in the place of result of I, and now you will fill in the result and return result. Let us run this. Sorry, this should be val, and let us submit this, and there you go.